And we begin with a new report that's been released by the U.S. Department of Justice after a years-long investigation into the State Department of Juvenile Justice. Well, as our News 19's Julia Kaufman reports, the investigation details disturbing incidents, and DJJ's new director says they're actively making changes to address them.
The South Carolina Department of Juvenile Justice has been under fire for years. At the state level, a legislative investigation found facilities were understaffed and unsafe.
We're not slaves.
In June 2021, employees protested conditions at the Broad River Road complex in Columbia. Then former director Freddie Pugh stepped down in September. Now, the U.S. Department of Justice has released the findings from an investigation that ran from 2017 to 2020.
Those are horrifying things to even think about that they happened.
The department says it found staff at Broad River Road failed to keep youth safe and used excessive force when unnecessary. News 19 spoke with DJJ's new director, Eden Hendrick, about the evidence.
Some examples of excessive use of force on the youth were hog-tying a boy, putting a boy in a chokehold, breaking a boy's arm, and biting a girl in the face. What's your reaction to that?
Well, my reaction is that sounds awful, terrible.
Hendrick says the incidents happened before she was with the agency, but says officials immediately began working with DOJ to remedy issues, including updating the surveillance system.
By putting in this camera system in place that is state-of-the-art, top of the technology, is really going to change the way we operate.
When it comes to abusive staff, Hendrick says she doesn't have a tolerance for it.
It's really important not only just to hire people and folks, but it's important to hire people who have the right mindset and have the right idea.
Hendrick says they're working to change the use of force policy and will soon start new training programs for staff. Senator Gerald Malloy hopes to overhaul the state's juvenile justice system with legislation he's been working on for years.
It just would limit removal of children from the community and punitive care of juvenile justice. Keeps them from issues as isolation.
His bill didn't meet the crossover deadline this session, but he hopes it still has a chance to pass this year. In Columbia, Julia Kaufman, News 19, WLTX.
Well, Director Hendricks says DJJ is also working to change its solitary confinement policies, and she says the use of confinement has drastically declined since she took over.